I'm Kimberly, a yoga teacher here at Cancer Rehab, and today we're going to do a breath meditation. We'll work to deepen the breath, working specifically with diaphragmatic breathing, sometimes called belly breathing or full body breathing, and it can be a very powerful tool to move lymph. It will be a gentle practice, anyone can do it. So let's get started. I'm going to recommend starting lying back. If you prefer to sit upright, be my guest. Just find a nice tall seat if that's you. Otherwise, I'll join you reclined. If you like a pillow behind your head, please take time to set that up. And there's no right or wrong way to arrive. So ease yourself all the way back and take your time. And we'll start in constructive rest. So your knees are bent, your feet are anchored on the earth. And you're welcome to widen your feet a little wider and even relax your knees together. We'll rest one hand on your low belly and one hand at your heart. One hand on your low belly and one hand at your heart. And take this time to soften back and bring all of your attention to your breath. And just your natural breath as we begin our practice together. Notice that you are breathing. It's always a good place to start. Noticing the quality of your breath. Is it deep? Is it shallow? Noticing where that breath starts. Where does it originate? Where does it go? And how does it move between those places? Is there a texture? So begin to deepen the breath a bit. So I'd like you to slide your palms or the backs of your hands, which is sometimes a little bit easier if you're reclined. So sliding your palms or the backs of your hands to your bottom outermost ribs in your rib cage. Your bottom outermost ribs. Not in the front, not in the back, but really where they wrap around in the sides. You might think bra strap line or just below. And as the palms or maybe the backs of the hands rest there, what would it feel like to begin to inhale out into your hands? So inhale, ribs expand out into your hands. And as you exhale, notice how the ribs draw back in. And let's play with that. Inhaling out into your hands. And exhale, notice how the ribs draw back in. Inhaling out, maybe there's a little pause at the top. And exhale, ribs draw back in, a little pause at the bottom. And continuing just like that, at your rhythm, without trying to push or force. Feeling the ribs stretching from the inside out. Inhaling out into your hands. And exhale, ribs draw back in. Now, keeping that same intention of breath, you might relax your arms down alongside the body. And keep sending breath out into those bottom outermost ribs. Beginning to create space in the whole thoracic cavity here. And then wrap your awareness back to the back base of your ribs, basically where your kidneys and your adrenals are. And begin to send your natural breath back into the base of the ribs. Without forcing, without pushing, just an invitation. And if you're lying back, you might notice if that area presses back towards your mat. So inhaling back into the base of the ribs. And exhaling, allowing that area to soften, to settle. And take 1 or 2 more breaths right there. And we'll draw the attention up more to the back of the heart, or that space between your shoulder blades. Beginning to send that natural breath back into your heart. And as you inhale back, you might invite that breath to move out into the blades of the shoulders, maybe around towards those ribs. And being curious, honoring any sensation that shows up for you. Good. And then drawing the attention up more to the very back, outermost tips of your shoulders. The very back, outermost tips of your shoulders. And what would it feel like to send your breath back into those outermost tips? And notice how that area might move or press into or away from your yoga mat. Good. And now we're going to expand that breath awareness to all sides of the torso. The side body, the back body, and now we'll add the frontal plane of the body. So as you next inhale, can you fill up in all 4 sides circumferentially? And as you exhale, allowing the ribs to draw back in. Inhaling outermost ribs, back ribs, front ribs. Exhale, inviting those ribs to draw back in. Inhaling in all directions. A little pause at the top. And exhaling, ribs draw back in. A pause at the bottom. And continuing just like that. At your rhythm. Your breath. Inhaling, a pause, and exhaling, a Pause at the bottom. And continuing nice and easy. And then if the mind wanders, it's fine. Just keep bringing it back. Inhaling, expanding in all directions. And exhale, bring it back in. Good. The next time you exhale, let go of observing the breath and become the breath. Or allow the body to be breathed. And as we bake here, a few more moments with our natural breath, I'm going to read a quote by Donna Farhi. She says, "Our breath is constantly rising and falling, ebbing and flowing, entering and leaving our bodies. Full body breathing is an extraordinary symphony of both powerful and subtle movements that massage our internal organs, oscillate our joints, and alternately tone and release all the muscles in the body. It is a full participation in life." If you're reclined, you might begin to find some movement of your fingers and your toes. Wherever you are, you might circle your wrists, you might circle your ankles, you might do this even if you're sitting. You might stretch, you might yawn. You can wiggle, shake. And you might choose to stay reclined. Or when you're ready, softly rolling to rest on a side of your choosing, using your upper arm if that's comfortable as a pillow or maybe a blanket. Pausing there, resting there. And moving really slowly, you'll press your top palm down and bring yourself all the way up to a comfortable seat. And we'll all meet here. And bringing palms to stack at your heart. And bowing your thinking mind to your heart. And thank you for sharing the last 15 minutes with me and everyone who practiced this breath meditation today.